A lot of people say, trust the process, and then proceed to not trust the process. A lot of people say, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But then deep down within their hearts, they don't even believe their own statement. I find it funny how it's almost like they're a hypocrite to their own sayings. They're a hypocrite to their own advice. They know how to give keys to others, but instead of unlocking the mental prison that they are within, they choose to remain within their barriers. How can you give somebody else advice and be so sure and confident? Advice that could literally alter somebody's future, but then you turn around and you don't take that same advice for yourself. You turn around and everything that you told to that person to make that life better for them, you ignore. It fades from your memory like you are not the person who spoke those words. Faith is a word that has really become stronger in my vocabulary each and every day because of just how definitive it is. Faith is having trust in the unknown. Having belief even when you have doubts. A lot of people are scared to take chances. A lot of people are scared to take risks because they're unsure what the outcome will be. If everything was guaranteed, people would do it every single time. But because there might be a little uncertainty, there's something that is ruling not in your favor. You're hesitant. You're scared. Now you're overthinking. Things that you already naturally do because there's a stake on the line. Now you're more timid. It's just like in a sports when it's time to actually be in the tournament rather than just regular season. Now all your little crucial mistakes, they're eating up at you. All your little mistakes, it's like one missed shot, one turnover, one bad throw, one bad pass. All of a sudden it hits a lot more and it replays over and over and over in your head. And why do you think that is? Because of the value that it has. The value of this moment, the value of this instance is making you overthink situations. The value of what you want to achieve, what you want to obtain is making you not truly see the milestones and the casual steps that you can take to get there. Rather than this massive leap from just A to F. Whenever you have a goal for yourself, if the point A and the point B are too far apart still, and it's very hard for you to follow, break it more into micro steps for it to be easier for it to translate into your brain. Almost like you're giving instructions to kindergartners. Break it down for yourself so that way the process becomes easier. You can have faith in the work that you're doing because you know you're taking the right steps and you're seeing the progression. There's nothing wrong with starting off with the fundamentals because once you have the fundamentals down pat to the point where you can never make a mistake, you will never stray from it. So my thing is, where does this fear come from? You know? Where does this hesitation within you to make the right decision that you're already used to come from if you've made it 1,000 times before? And more importantly, why is it that we have the ideas locked in our brain when it comes to ourselves. Wrong. Rather, we know what right decision we have to make, but we need a confirmation from maybe an older peer, a mentor figure, somebody that we look to as a guardian, so that way they can give us that final yes, that final okay, because usually we're doing an uncomfortable decision, and the uncomfortable decisions lead to the best growth within us. It's funny. Today is February 29th, 2024. It is a leap year. And I think leap years occur, I can't even remember the exact number, funny enough. But I just know they don't occur every year. I think it's every 4 years. And so, the way that I like to look at it is, imagine God, the universe, whoever you believe, came to you in a dream, in a vision, and said, you will get this thing that you are acquiring in 4 years. You will get this thing that you are acquiring after a 4-year period. But keep your mind in the present moment. Make sure that you're doing so, and so. Now, to many people that they hear that, they're like, oh, I can do that easy. When people hear that, they say, oh, that's simplistic. Saying words is always the easiest part in making a commitment. Creating a plan is always the easiest part in going after what you want. But actually following through with it, when your emotions are getting in the way, when your social problems are getting in the way, even when mental problems are getting in the way. There are so many obstacles and distractions that pop up to try to take you off all the progress you're building for yourself when you actually then make that decision to use your willpower to go after what you want. You have to stay strong. The enthusiasm, the strength that you had when you first said that statement, when you first decided you want to make that change, the feeling of maybe it was weakness, a feeling that you don't want to feel again. You have to hold on to it. Remember it. Use it as your fuel. Treat it like a fire. Sometimes the fire starts to dimmer down. It starts to get small. And do you know how hard it is to get a fire started? You know, putting on them sticks down. You keep, especially caveman era, you're going like this. Like, it's really hard to get that fire started. But once it starts, it's surprisingly easy how fast it can spread. Maintain that fire within you. Don't start spreading it to all areas and then it becomes out of control and now it is damaging you. Rather, keep it in a contained environment in which it's warming you up. It's giving you what you need. And when it starts to dimmer down, all you have to do is maintenance to bring it back up. It's the same thing with desires. It's the same thing with everything you want to acquire in life. The thing that initiated that flame, the thing that initiated that spark within you, it's going to fade. But you have to be strong enough to keep it going, even when you don't want to. Because emotions are your enemies sometimes. Emotions will lead you to the wrong path. That's why it even says in the Bible, the human heart is deceitful. Because it knows what you have to do, but it sometimes doesn't feel like it wants to. So to wrap it up, you know what you have to do. You always know in the back of your mind what you have to do. You always have that gut feeling. And especially if you have a sharp intuition, you especially know what path is correct for yourself. The problem is, will you have enough confidence in your decision making and in yourself to follow that instinct? Do you have faith in the work that you are putting in? Do you have faith? Do you have confidence that the long nights that you're staying up, the long nights that you are slaving will pay off for you? Maybe not a year from now, maybe not 2 years, maybe not even 3. But like I said, every leap year, every 4 years, God said I will give you a reward. Do you think you could be locked in for that much amount of time? Look at the OKC team right now. Look at any sports team that had to rebuild. First, they got to get rid of all the old pieces that they had, right? Next, they go through 1, 2, maybe even 3 years sometimes being bad, trying to get new pieces, acquiring new faces to really build that franchise. And sometimes they have to wait for that right person to be like, yes, you're the starting point that we need. You are going to make that difference. And then things naturally start falling into place around him. He gets another player, they draft another one, and then boom, that's how a dynasty's built. It's the same thing for everything that you want to acquire in life. It starts with you. You doing the work that you have to do. You getting up on the days you don't want to get up. You have to fight being a slothful person. Because trust me, that's one of the most underrated battles that people never ever see. Being lazy is a sin. But most importantly, being lazy will not allow you to become the best version of yourself. There are always things to be done. And don't overwork yourself, no. Rather, find that balance for you to be the most effective and efficient when you work. But you have those resting periods. You have to have faith in the work that you're doing. You have to be able to see what other people cannot see. Because I even have a quote that says, opportunities, great opportunities, are never seen. And to elaborate on that more, you have to create your opportunity. You have to create that chance for yourself. You create that opening. The first shot that you take sometimes doesn't go in. But guess what? You keep shooting. And most importantly, guess what? You keep trying. Trying and trying and trying. Because I guarantee you, God knows where you gotta go. The universe knows what place you hold in the grand scheme of things. Have faith. Trust me. Have faith. At the end of the day, I ain't a preacher. I'm just a guy talking.